Good morning, everybody. I'm going to do another canning video. This time it's going to be spaghetti sauce. I had gone to Sam's Club, a couple of months ago, and I bought those big, huge cans of tomato sauce and crushed tomatoes. And I think I only paid like $3.85 for each one. So I've got all four of those inside my roasting pan. I did that last night. I also added 4 large cans of tomato paste in here just to thicken it up. And boy, oh boy, folks, I'll tell you, it is thick sauce. And that's just mostly sauce. There's some meat in here. I threw in some mild Italian sausage and some hamburger meat. I had more sausage I was going to put in there, but my roaster just got too full, so I couldn't do it. So I thought, oh, I'll just throw the sausage inside the jars. I've already got some ready to go, but I'll just show you real fast what I'm doing. And these are quart-sized jars. So I figured, one quart-sized jar for every meal will be perfect for us. So I just took my little, we've all seen these in the grocery store, mild Italian sausage, and I'm just plucking them off. Hopefully they'll still stay like in little balls when it's done cooking so that we can have like little mini meatballs. I did not do the meatballs inside of here because I figured it would take up too much room with the hamburger meat. So I just kind of crumbled up the hamburger meat and threw it in there last night, and it's cooked down. It's definitely cooked down, but I just wanted to give that sauce some really good flavor, and I just seasoned it with lumps and clumps and fistfuls. I have a whole little jar of parsley flakes in there. I have probably a half of one of those little containers of sweet basil. I've got fennel seed in there. I've got salt, pepper, garlic, 3 bay leaves, and I just taste tested it last night. I had everybody else in the house taste it, and they said, ooh, this is good. So I said, okay, I'm going with it. No exact measurements. I'm sorry, I can't give that to you. Just season it up the way you like to eat it for your family. So let me get my hands washed real fast. Now I've already got my 23-quart pressure canner on the stove, and my water is warming up. So I'm gonna set these jars in. I'm only gonna be able to do 1 layer. So it's gonna be a big canning day. So let me show you how I'm gonna do this. I've got my handy dandy jar, picker upper. Oh, I need a, okay, this is my Pokey Joe, thanks to Heather at the Needy Homesteader. That's what she calls her little stick, her little Pokey Joe. So I'm gonna do a hashtag for Heather because I thought that was really cute. But this is just a plastic chopstick that I saw a friend had. She had an extra set, and I was like, give that to me, I need it. So I'm gonna use that to get the air bubbles out of my sauce because you don't want any air bubbles in here. I'm going to fill this up. I'm not sure how much headspace I need, so I'm just gonna look it up real fast. I use the Ball canning book. This is like my Bible when it comes to canning. The USDA also has a canning PDF that you can download from the internet, and if I remember, I'll go ahead and put that link down below. So let me look up spaghetti spring split spice sour spaghetti sauce with meat, 406. So I'm just gonna go over to 406. Okay, spaghetti sauce with meat, and it's going to give me everything I need to know. So it just gives 30 pounds of tomatoes, 2.5 pounds of ground beef. I just did all the cans, and I just rigged it. I'm just going to look to see if there's anything in here differently that I put in there, and it doesn't look like there is anything. So it says work in batches, pressed tomatoes. We don't need to do that. Blah, blah. Combine reserve. Ladle hot sauce into hot jars, leaving 1-inch headspace. Remove air bubbles and adjust headspace if necessary by adding hot sauce. Wipe the rim. My jars are not hot, but I'm not going to worry about it because by the time I put this hot sauce in here, it's going to warm my jar up, and then I'm going to put it inside the warm canner. So I want 1 inch headspace, and that is going to be right to the bottom of this lip here, the very bottom of it, okay? And then I'm going to vent my steam for 10 minutes, then close my vent, continue heating to achieve my 13 pounds of pressure. That's for my area. You check your area. Process pints for 60 minutes, quarts for 70. I remember reading somewhere that for the high acidity, high acidic foods, processing time, add 5 minutes. So I need to go 75 minutes, which is an hour and 15 minutes. That'll put me at about 7:30 in the morning. I've got to get Chewy down to the vet for his grooming this morning, so I need to kick this in gear. Okay, so I'm just going to, ladle it in. And I'll do a couple of jars for you so you can see how I do it. Oh, this sauce smells so good. I woke up a couple times last night and I was like, woo-wee, that is going to be awesome. Okay, I think I got my 1 inch headspace there. I'm going to take my Pokey Joe. I'm just going to poke it down in there just to get any air bubbles out. Check my headspace. I'm right down there at the very bottom. Grab my lid. I forgot my bands. Folks, this whole thing is full of bands. A lot of them. So don't ever throw your bands away. When mine get kind of rickety looking, then I'll throw them away. I'm just going to grab a couple here. So I'm not going to bore you with all the details over and over and over again. So fingertip tight, and in the canner we go. Isn't that nice? Oh, look at this. Oh, I thought that was air bubbles. It might be air bubbles. If you look right down here, that I know it's meat, but I'm going to poke it a little bit more. I want to be safe, not sorry. So I don't want no air bubbles in here. I don't want no cause for my spaghetti sauce not coming out good. And as far as putting raw meat in here, I'm not worried about that because the pressure canner is going to cook it. Oh, one more thing. We got to clean our rims. And I've just got a little bowl of vinegar, and I'm just going to give them a real quick wipe. Glad I took that lid off because that would have been a disaster. I would have told you the wrong thing. I'm just going to give my little lid of wipe and fingertip tight. And in the canner we go. Okay, one more. I've got my sausage in there. My Pokey Joe is in there, so I don't forget about him. Because I have done that before. I've actually, almost finished jars, had them in the canner, and said, oops, I forgot to Pokey Joe them. So I'm just going to leave it in my jars as I go. 1 inch headspace. And you can always adjust your headspace as necessary. Because sometimes after you get the air bubbles out, you need to add some more. And have I ever added too much? You better believe it. Okay, that looks good to me. Into the next one. Give this a little wipey poo. And get that big chunk off. There we go. 1 inch headspace right there. Doesn't that look nice? I like canning because we're a very busy family. We're on 5 acres in, see now, okay. No, I don't like that. Somebody, probably Grandma, has hit this lid to get it off because she can't open things very easy. I may end up throwing that one away. See, that's where you should go. All right, one more in the canner. Okay, one more real fast. keep hearing funny noises. I'm the only one in the house right now, and I keep hearing funny noises. That was the refrigerator, in case you heard it. Okay. Pokey Joe it around, make sure all those air bubbles are out. In the next one it goes. Clean up my lid a little bit, my jar. Vinegar, wipe it around. And while you're wiping your rims, you're also feeling for cracks. If there's a crack in a jar, get rid of it. You can't use it. I mean, you could probably use it to just store dry things in it, but don't use it to can with because it's not going to get a good seal. Speaking of good seals, I was over at my shelf over here, and I was looking for something last night, fingertip tight, and I noticed one of my jars had broke its seal. So that'll be another video. So if you want to, for sure, know your headspace, there's a handy little tool that you can get off of Amazon. And if I remember to put the link, I'll put the link down there. But you would put this on your jar like this, and this would be 1 inch headspace. And I'm just barely touching it. So I'm good on my headspace. I also know that right here at the bottom of this collar right here is 1 inch. So that's how I'm measuring. I do it by sight now. Not necessarily, I don't need this tool. When it says 1 inch, I know it's there. 1/2 inch, I know it goes to right about here, and 1/4 inch, you know, goes way right here. So that's how we measure. Okay, as you can see here, I've got a real nice steady stream. It's coming out. So I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. At least Tesla says I can get 8 in there, and I wasn't able to, so it's whatever. When 10 minutes is over, I'm going to go ahead and put my little lid on top. This one here is now up, which it should have been yesterday when I was canning. All this beautiful my dial's still right now, which is good. Once this vent starts venting for 10 minutes steady stream, I'm going to be able to hope everything turns out okay. Probably should. Okay. My little lid right on top of there. Too late now. So this thing here should pop up. It didn't do it in my last video because it was kind of stuck. So I know now it's going to be okay. I think I made the worst mistake of my life. So no, my canning career is starting to bubble. So I'm going to get this venting for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to process. The book says 70. I'm going to do an extra 5 because it's. I've already processed for 75 minutes. My top is down. I'm going to get this off. Remember, when you open these up, don't be afraid of it. There's no more pressure in there because my gauge is reading at 0. It's early in the morning. Take it off. All right, let's get this going. Open it up away from yourself. This has been off for a while, so I'm just going to slowly take this off, and hopefully, with all that rocking and a bopping, no jars broke. I think it's okay. Yay! Oh my goodness, nothing broke. I can still see them bubbling away in there. Let me get my handy dandy jar expulsion. Here we go. First one. Yep, they're still bubbling. I was afraid after I noticed that I didn't put that in, that I made a big mistake. I thought maybe one of the jars would crack. I lost a little bit of some of the spaghetti sauce. It seeped out because my water is a little red. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to make sure that I leave these guys alone. Let them come back to temperature. Hopefully we got good seals. And everything. Oh, there we go. We got the popping going on. Okay, I got to take a phone call. Okay, so that was not a complete disaster. I thought I was going to have some broken jars in there from just the bubbling around, the swishing around, because I didn't have my rack in the bottom of this pan. So I've got a whole lot more to do, so I'm just going to get snapping away, and I'll bring you back when I'm all done. Okay.